There is a place in the middle of the Nevada desert, a place so secretive that for decades the United States government refused to even admit it existed. No signs, no public access, no official explanation, just fences, warning signs, armed patrols, and a silence so controlled that it turned a military testing facility into one of the biggest mysteries in modern history, Area 51. For years, people have connected this place to aliens, UFO sightings, secret aircraft, hidden experiments, and classified technology supposedly decades ahead of the rest of the world. But here's the interesting part. The mystery around Area 51 was never created by Hollywood alone. The United States government itself helped create that mystery, because when people started asking questions, the government didn't answer them. They denied everything, and the more they denied it, the bigger the legend became. But behind the conspiracy theories, behind the UFO stories, and behind decades of rumors, there is a very real reason why Area 51 became one of the most protected places in America. A reason connected to Cold War paranoia, spy planes, advanced military technology, and America's desperate race to stay ahead of its enemies. Tonight, we are going deep inside the story of Area 51, how it started, why it became secret, what really happened there, and why even today, people still believe the truth has not fully been revealed. This is the story of Area 51. To understand Area 51, you first need to understand America in the 1950s. The Second World War had ended, but peace did not last. A new conflict was beginning, the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a global power struggle. Both sides feared nuclear attack, both sides feared espionage, and both sides were obsessed with technological superiority. America needed information. Specifically, it needed to know what the Soviet Union was building. At the time, the US had a major problem. Spy satellites barely existed. Reliable long-range surveillance technology was limited, and America had very little visibility into Soviet military activity. So the CIA came up with a dangerous idea: build an aircraft capable of flying so high that Soviet defenses could not shoot it down. This aircraft would become the U-2 spy plane. But testing a plane like that required secrecy, extreme secrecy. The government needed a remote location, somewhere isolated, far from cities, far from journalists, far from ordinary people, and eventually they found it. Deep in the Nevada desert, near a dry lake bed called Groom Lake. The area was empty, harsh, remote, perfect for classified testing. The CIA and US Air Force quickly transformed the location into a secret testing site. Official maps barely acknowledged it. Workers were flown in secretly. Security was intense, and almost immediately, Area 51 became one of the most restricted military locations in the country. But the public had no idea what was happening there, and that lack of information would eventually create one of the greatest conspiracy theories ever: the birth of UFO myths. In the mid-1950s, people across America started reporting strange objects in the sky: silver shapes, fast-moving lights, aircraft flying at impossible altitudes. The reports spread quickly, and many people believed they were seeing UFOs, but what they were actually seeing, in many cases, were secret military aircraft. The U-2 spy plane could fly at altitudes commercial aircraft could not reach. At the time, most people had never seen anything like it. Pilots reported mysterious objects, citizens reported glowing aircraft, and because the government refused to explain what was happening, rumors exploded. Then things became even stranger. America started testing even more advanced aircraft, including the A-12 Oxcart, a plane so advanced that it looked almost futuristic. Its speed was extraordinary. Its design looked alien, and once again, the government stayed silent. The secrecy surrounding these aircraft accidentally fueled UFO culture, and according to several reports released years later, government agencies were aware that UFO rumors actually hid secret military programs, because if people believed they saw aliens, they were less likely to suspect secret spy technology. In a strange way, conspiracy theories became camouflage, and Area 51 slowly transformed
transformed from a military base into a modern myth.
The Cold War machine. To the outside world, Area 51 looked mysterious. Inside, it was part of something very serious. The Cold War was reaching dangerous levels. The threat of nuclear war was real. American intelligence agencies believed technological superiority could decide the future of global power. So Area 51 became a laboratory for America's most advanced military projects: aircraft testing, radar experiments, stealth technology, electronic warfare, everything needed to stay ahead of America's enemies. And the people working there operated under intense secrecy. Many workers could not even tell their families what they did. Some employees used fake explanations for their jobs. Others simply stayed silent. Security clearance was everything. Even small leaks were treated seriously. And because so little information escaped the base, public curiosity only increased. The more secret Area 51 became, the more people wanted to know what was happening there. Then came one of the most important developments in military aviation history: stealth technology. Aircraft designed to avoid radar detection. For years, these ideas sounded impossible, but at Area 51, America tested them in complete secrecy. And eventually, the world would learn just how advanced those projects really were.
The stealth revolution. In the 1970s, military technology entered a new era. The US military wanted aircraft that enemy radar systems could barely detect. This concept became known as stealth technology. At Area 51, engineers and pilots worked on aircraft unlike anything the public had ever seen. Sharp angles, dark surfaces, unusual shapes, experimental designs. One of the most famous projects connected to Area 51 was the F-117 Nighthawk, a stealth aircraft so strange-looking that many people believed it had to be alien technology. But it wasn't alien. It was human engineering, extremely advanced engineering. The aircraft was tested secretly in the Nevada desert. Pilots flew mostly at night. Access remained heavily restricted, and again, rumors spread. People near the area reported bizarre triangular aircraft. Some claimed they saw impossible movements. Others believed the government was hiding extraterrestrial technology. But in reality, Area 51 had become the center of America's secret aviation revolution. The secrecy was not about aliens, it was about military advantage, because during the Cold War, revealing these technologies too early could have changed global power balances, and for the United States, that risk was unacceptable.
Why the government stayed silent? One of the biggest questions people ask is simple. If Area 51 was only a testing facility, why keep it secret for so long? The answer is complicated. Part of it was national security. America genuinely did not want enemies learning about classified technology. But another part was psychological. Secrecy itself became useful. The unknown creates fear, confusion, speculation, and during the Cold War, misdirection was valuable. The government rarely confirmed anything. Officials avoided discussing the base publicly. Even maps and documents were limited. In fact, for decades, the US government officially refused to acknowledge Area 51's existence. Think about that. One of the most famous military locations in the world technically did not exist, at least officially. That level of secrecy only intensified public obsession. Movies, TV shows, books, conspiracy theories, everything exploded around Area 51. And eventually, Area 51 became larger than reality itself. It became a symbol of hidden knowledge, secret power, and the idea that governments know more than they reveal.
The alien connection. Of course, it is impossible to discuss Area 51 without discussing aliens. Over the years, countless people claimed the base contained extraterrestrial technology. Some said alien craft were recovered there. Others claimed alien bodies were studied inside hidden laboratories. One of the most famous stories came from Bob Lazar. In 1989, Lazar claimed he worked near Area 51 on reverse engineering alien technology. His interviews shocked the public. He described secret underground facilities, alien propulsion systems, and classified
experiments. Supporters believed he was telling the truth. Critics accused him of fabrication. To this day, people still debate his claims. And that is the fascinating part about Area 51. The secrecy created a vacuum, and humans naturally fill vacuums with stories, because when information disappears, imagination takes over. Some people believe the government hides alien life. Others believe Area 51 is simply a military testing facility, exaggerated by decades of conspiracy theories. But regardless of what anyone believes, Area 51 successfully became one of the most mysterious places on Earth.
Life around Area 51. The mystery surrounding Area 51 changed the region around it. Nearby towns became connected to UFO tourism. Alien-themed restaurants appeared. Gift shops sold conspiracy merchandise. Highways earned nicknames like the Extraterrestrial Highway. People travelled from around the world hoping to catch a glimpse of something unusual in the desert sky. And despite all the jokes and memes, security around Area 51 remains serious. Warning signs surround the area. Surveillance systems monitor movement. Armed security patrols protect the perimeter. Entering restricted areas can result in arrest. Even photography near certain locations can attract attention. The message is clear. Whatever happens inside, the government still considers it important. And that ongoing secrecy continues to feed public fascination, because people are naturally curious about places they are forbidden to enter.
When the internet took over, the internet changed everything. Before the digital age, Area 51 rumours spread slowly, but online, theories exploded. Forums, videos, leaked documents, satellite images. Everyone suddenly had access to information, or at least what looked like information. Some theories became increasingly extreme. Secret underground cities, time travel experiments, alien-human cooperation, hidden weapons. The line between fact and fiction became blurry, and social media amplified everything. Then, in 2019, something bizarre happened. A joke online event called Storm Area 51 went viral. Millions of people interacted with the meme. The idea was absurd. People jokingly claimed they would rush to base to see the aliens. Of course, almost nobody seriously attempted it, but the event revealed something important. Area 51 had become more than a military base. It had become internet mythology, a symbol recognized globally. Very few classified facilities in history have reached that level of cultural impact.
So, what is Area 51 actually used for today? Most experts believe the answer is relatively straightforward. Advanced military research, experimental aircraft testing, next-generation defense technology, drone systems, electronic warfare capabilities, stealth development, possibly technologies the public will not learn about for years. And honestly, that alone is fascinating enough, because history shows that many technologies once considered impossible were being secretly developed years before the public discovered them. Stealth aircraft, advanced drones, surveillance systems, all of these sounded unbelievable at one point. So even without aliens, Area 51 likely remains one of the most technologically advanced testing environments in the world. And because modern warfare increasingly depends on technology, places like Area 51 remain strategically important. The secrecy never fully disappears, because information itself is power.
Why people are still obsessed? The real reason Area 51 continues to fascinate people is not just aliens, it is something deeper. People are drawn to mystery, especially hidden power. Governments operate behind closed doors, military programs remain classified, and humans naturally wonder what exists beyond public knowledge. Area 51 represents that curiosity. It represents the idea that somewhere, behind fences and locked doors, important secrets exist, and maybe some truths are still hidden, whether those secrets involve advanced aircraft, experimental technology, or something stranger. The mystery itself has become immortal, because once a place becomes legendary, facts alone are no longer enough to erase the myth.
Area 51 began as a solution to a Cold War problem, a remote testing site hidden in the Nevada desert, but secrecy transformed it into something far bigger, a symbol, a conspiracy, a cultural phenomenon. For decades, the United States government protected the base with extreme secrecy, and in doing so, created one of the greatest mysteries in modern history. The truth is, Area 51 probably does not contain little green aliens, but it does contain something powerful: advanced advanced technology, military innovation, and proof of how far governments will go to protect strategic advantage. And maybe that reality is more fascinating than science fiction, because hidden deep inside the desert, far from ordinary life, Area 51 reminds us of something uncomfortable. The world's most important technologies are often developed in silence, behind walls, behind secrecy, and long before the public is ready to see them. So the next time you hear a story about Area 51, remember this: the mystery did not survive because people stopped believing. It survived because nobody was ever allowed to fully see the truth. And perhaps that was always the point.
If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more deep dives into hidden history, secret operations, intelligence agencies, and the darker side of modern power, because some of the world's most important stories are the ones hidden in the shadows.